Alright, we back on sports, and you know what? I'm sitting pretty today. I'm feeling pretty good today. You want to know why? Because all the other things that I have seen this week in sports, it's so bad that it actually makes me look good. That's why, alright? I feel like this. I was just going to do a video this week on sports because I felt, hey, it's not even worth it. But then again, after seeing all this stuff, it's like, especially the announcement that happened yesterday, I definitely got to talk about it, alright? You know what I mean? So, I'll put it like this. Before I get started on this, I want to talk a little bit local stuff, alright? And it's really interesting stuff because I want to give you all an update of what's going on with the college versus community basketball, the basketball game that I was putting together. Now, as you know, if you follow me on Twitter, I've been putting videos here and there out just for Twitter to show y'all that, I'm in these meetings, I'm talking to these people, and, whether things go wrong or meetings are pushed back and stuff like that, and, if people okay things. So, you know that. You also know that I did a YouTube video not too long ago about the police department being okay with being part of this, dare I say, process. I guess we can start talking about the process, I guess. But let's talk, all right? Because here's a small update for those who don't know. It's been a while since I've heard from the police department, okay, on this issue. Now, as you know, I talked to the Parks and Rec not too long ago on this exhibition, and they're all for it. They signed off on it already. They are okay for it. What they said was, though, it needs to happen before basketball season starts up, due to the fact that their gym is going to be jam-packed, and they'll probably only have one day, if possible, to do this exhibition game between the community and the police department. So they wanted to get in this game before basketball season started, okay? When they told me that, the very next day, after they signed off on it, the very next day, I called the police department and let them know exactly what was going on. The police department said, yeah, we're still for it. We'll give you a call back. It's been about, a month now? I haven't heard nothing from the police department at all. That's right. So, this is what I wanted to do. Today, after this video, I'm going to have to do some running around, make some calls, and if worse than worse, I will go to the police department. I will go to the 24th District, all right, because if Officer Graves is not going to respond to my calls anymore, I will go to the 24th District in person. I will talk to somebody in person and find out what's going on. See, I don't know if anyone hasn't realized yet, but I have no problems talking to anybody to their face. I have no problems when it comes to trying to get things done. I have no problems getting off my ass, all right, to go and do something. I'm not going to sit around like most of these people, these Twitter jockeys or these YouTube jockeys do, sit around and complain all the time. No. Off camera, I'm getting up, I'm going to go do business. You know what I mean? That's what I got to go do in order for things to get done. You can't wait for everyone else because nothing will get done. You've seen this for years where I've been trying to put this together with, with Philadelphia, the city council and all this, the mayor and all this. None of it gets done. Unless you start yelling at people, they don't listen. And I shouldn't have to act that way. As an adult, I shouldn't have to act that way and yell at a city official to get them to listen. That's absolutely ridiculous, as far as I'm concerned. Y'all seen it. I yelled at Mayor Nutter. Then I got something. I yelled at the police department. Then they came and I shouldn't have to do all that. That's why things don't get done here as it is. But now everyone's it's kind of stagnant. Last week? I had to give an update to the Parks and Rec and let them know, hey, look, I'm still interested in doing this. I'm giving you an update to let you know that I still haven't heard anything back from the police department. If I don't hear anything back by a specific date, I will go and handle it myself. Because the police department, when I talked to them, they asked for the Parks and Rec's phone number, that one actual facility, gave them the name, the number, and all this stuff, so so I can hear something. I haven't heard anything back. So yeah. So after this, looks like I'll be making calls and bugging the hell out of people. I shouldn't have to do that though. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to. This is why there's always a disconnect. This is why people don't trust other people. This is how the city is for some reason. And I'll put it like this. If this doesn't go through, this is my last time trying to help the city, man. I will take my talents elsewhere. I will go to a different city and do this. I'll take my talents elsewhere, man. I'm not going to keep playing around with this city. And it's sad to say because this city is a basketball city. Like I said, it's a play first, watch second. That's what we do. But it seems like a lot of people, especially people on Twitter, they don't understand that because they don't play basketball. They fans, but they don't play basketball, so they don't understand. Anyways, let's talk more about local. That's right. Let's talk about 97.5 now, shall we? Yeah, let's talk about them. Because for those who don't know, same person I've called out before, all right, Mike Missinelli, that's right. For those who don't know, he has been fired from his job for making, once again, sexist remarks, opinions about other reporters, about female reporters. Oh my God. You got to be kidding me at this point. All right. Let's get into this. As you know, throughout the years, because you know I've dealt with 97.5. I said 95, I said 97.5. All right. I don't even think it matters anymore because they're absolutely irrelevant at this point. All right. I told you before, I showed you all, the dirt on them. I showed you the racist remarks that Tony Bruno used to talk about, on the air, and for some reason, that was okay. I told you about the sexist remarks that, they always used to do. Mike Missanelli, this is his first time actually making sexist remarks. I told you before how they spend money on bringing in women to dress half naked in the studio instead of actually using that money to donate, to sponsor other local sports. We've talked about these things because if you're a sports radio station, okay, your primary focus is sports. It's not about the people you hire trying to be rock stars, okay, because that's what they try to do. WIP is guilty of this too. A lot of these radio places are guilty of it. They are. All right? ESPN, all of them, guilty of it. All right? All these people think that they matter. Anyone you put a microphone in front of and say, this is my opinion on sports, think they matter. Hello, Colin Cowherd. Yeah. I'll talk about that in a minute too. But you have to understand, okay, that when you have things like this with Mike Missanelli, like I said, 97.5 has had this long string of, like I said, of racism and sexism and just absolute ignorance altogether. I'm shocked that it's still even somewhat afloat. Now, regardless of what Mike Missanelli said, all right, because we've seen him say a lot of colorful things in the past, all right, Giants fans still will not let go of the fact that he celebrated, injuries. We know about that. But here's the thing, okay? He has a history of this, and you still let him on roster this long. Now that he's been let go, for those who did not see what Mike Missanelli, and his fans are saying, that it's not Mike Missanelli's fault. No. It's the world's fault for being too sensitive to these issues, that they just need to just toughen up. Instead of, Mike Missanelli being an adult and understanding that he can't say those type of things because you're literally on radio. I play this. I've said it once, I said it again, I'll say it again. You have the easiest job in the world. All you do is sit in a booth, you sit on a chair, and all you do is give your opinion about sports. And you have your guy giving you cues, and you're just reading off facts at times to help to form, you shape your narrative, your opinion. That's what it is. That's all you do. Are you going to tell me you can't hold it together for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hour block, 4 hour block, depending on how long they schedule you for in your block? You can't hold that together for that many hours a day on sports that you have to act this way? A grown man. Okay. Easiest job in the world, and you still find yourself a way. You find a way to get fired. You find a way. Like, if that doesn't spell degenerate, I don't know what else does. I really don't. It's not that hard. Like I said, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to sit down and give your opinion on sports. No matter, here's the thing with sports radio. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong, because a company can always spin it and just call you edgy. Oh, he's going against the grain when he says something like this. You just saw not too long with Colin Cowherd, all right, when he talked about Philadelphia fans in the city. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, he was completely wrong on that, but that's how they bill it. It's edgy. It's unforgiving. It's blah, 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 blah. The company can always find a way to market you. And the fact that you still found a way to talk yourself out of a job is... that takes a talent. It takes a talent to do that. It does. That is absolutely degeneracy at its worst. And I know when I say degeneracy, people think, oh, that's cool, he's a degenerate. No, that's just absolutely degenerate, meaning you don't deserve to be in the public eye. You know what? Go sit down and don't come back. That's what it is. Sit on the bench. You're not getting back on the court. That's what it is. You shouldn't even be seen or heard. It's absolutely ridiculous that we still, to this day, we still see people defend this type of behavior. You cannot. All right? I've been calling this for how long? And now it's happening. Think about it. That old guard is slowly moving on. Tony Bruno gone. I think he found someone else. Because you should know, no matter how nasty or dirty you can be, someone's going to pick you up. If you haven't realized that. Because this is how these companies work, right? All right. Mike Missanelli now gone. Sean Brace gone. Like, it's nice. They're like, wait a minute. And I told y'all that this was going to happen because when he brought me in, they was like, we looking to replace the old guard. It seems like the old guard was moving along slowly. Mike Missinelli just was like, you know what? Let me just execute myself. That's what he did. But y'all don't want to hear that, though. Now y'all seeing it in place. In the long run, again, who was correct? All right. Now, with that said, I guess we can talk about Colin Cowherd, or should I say, someone that I really shouldn't talk about, and I'm very disappointed to see that Philadelphia fans fell for the bait. Again, you fell for the bait. For those who have watched my videos, and not just for sports, but for gaming, you know that Colin Cowherd, Mr. 0.0 rating, yes, that guy, alright, does these things to get a reaction out of you. Shock jock, old shock jock tactics, okay? Now before, if you watch my gaming video, he talked about how gamers are nerds and they can never be athletes and blah, 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 blah. And he just went on to talk about how physically weak nerds are and, you know, and gamers are and such and such. Mind you, Colin Cowherd, physically weak himself. But that's what he was doing. He was trying to bait people. Gamers, of course, did not fall for that because they've been told this time and time again. They saw the bait. They spotted it a mile away. So thumbs up to the gamers on that one. But here's the thing, okay? Of course, when he said that, he tried to keep going for a while with it. A number of segments about it, and gamers still didn't fall for the bait. But what did yours truly do? Because you know I play video games, and you know I play sports. What did I do? I called him out on it. Okay, since you feel this way, let's play some basketball. Let's get into it. Let's play one-on-one. And I'm going to posterize you, and I'm going to show you that I can be physically strong. And then afterwards, we can play some video games, and I'll beat you in something there, too. All right? Because regardless of what popular stereotyping could be these days, okay, we have multiple hobbies. People are allowed to have multiple hobbies. You know that, right? I'm just wondering, does no one understand this? You're allowed to have multiple likes in something. So if someone decides to make a video on, okay, well, I'm just going to do all sports videos, that doesn't mean that that person is just strictly a, all sports person. You don't know that person in real life, so you don't know their other hobbies. For me, I show you an array of things, all right? So that's just me, all right? Because those are the things that kept me out of trouble, and I talk about those things, you know what I mean? That's what I like. That's my hobbies, you know what I mean? So, when I see Colin Cowherd come out and target, with the absolute wrong information, targets Philadelphia fans. At first, when I heard it, like I didn't see the segment yet, when I heard he had targeted fans, I had said to myself, okay, he's baiting you. Because I have experienced this, I've seen him do it before, so it's not that big of a deal, okay? But when you challenge him, he backs down. That's what he does. Now, if you fall for the bait, then you're an idiot. When he said what he said about Philadelphia at first, he was like, Philadelphia fans are stupid, the city is stupid, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay, let me hear what he has to say first before I decide to jump to conclusions. Maybe he will talk about the issues that I talk about, which is unlikely to talk about because he's not part of down in the urban area. He doesn't really know much about that type of stuff. Maybe he'll talk about, lack of support in the local city. Maybe he'll talk, maybe he has got some experience being in this city. And then he went on this tangent about pro sports and how he kicked out Terry Francona, which mind you, we won a World Series since then. But that doesn't matter. All right, and he gives all these bad reasons on why, Andy Reid is, I'm not going to get into it. Because it was nothing but bait and ignorance. It was. And I'm sitting back like, if y'all take this seriously, then there's something wrong with you. Don't even address this unless you're going to challenge him. All right? Don't address it. Because that's what people like him want. He wants a reaction. But if you challenge him, then he runs away with his tail tucked between his legs. So challenge him. That's what it should have been. But instead, we saw different. Everyone wanted to take to the airwaves. Everyone wanted to combat him with his words. Blah, blah. No, because he doesn't care about that. You're giving him what he wants. So yeah, if he wants to sit there and say Philadelphia and their fans are stupid and you reacted to it because you knew it was the wrong information, outlandish remarks, and you still reacted and you still did stuff, then you just proved him right. You are stupid. That's simple. Like I said, these guys don't care what you have to say. They're going to say what they want, get the ratings, move on. If the ratings are there, they'll revisit it and say it again just to get you up and an upward. That's what they do. Okay? That's what they do. So if you're going to challenge them, that's different. Then they'll shut up. All right? Because then they'll look like a coward. Coward. Because they just keep running. Running. I'm going to talk, but I'm not going to challenge. I'm not going to take any challenges. Exactly. That's what they do. That's what we call cowards. So it seems like a lot of people still don't get it. So for everyone who took the bait, congratulations. You played yourselves. You gave him everything he wanted. And he made out in the end of it. Because you gave him exactly what he wanted. Absolutely ridiculous. Alright? And that's not, like I said, once again, Colin Cowherd, my door is open to you. Anytime you're ready to play, let me know. Let me know. Because right now, I'm like this. You shouldn't even come to Philly. Don't come to Philly. Unless you're going to step on the court, unless you're going to step on the field, unless you're going to, put some skates on and get on the ice, unless you're ready to take a challenge. Alright? Which will probably do good ratings for your show, regardless if you win or lose. FaceTime. It will work for you. That's your incentive on it. Our incentive on the challenge would be to dog you all day to show you how bad you are. But I forgot. That ego of yours is just too much to handle, isn't it? Yeah. So the challenge is still out there. Anytime you're ready. Name your time, name your place. Hell, you don't have to come to Philly to do it. I'll come to you. How about that? But you're not going to do that. Like I said, no one's afraid of you. Like I said, big mouths that do nothing. But you notice, he's no different than anyone else that's here in Philadelphia when it comes to being on radio or being on TV. If you don't believe me, you can ask Marshall Harris. Loves to talk basketball. Can't play basketball to save his life. Alright? A lot of them are like this. You have to understand that. All those guys at 97.5 can't play sports to save life. Mike Missinelli shows up into the booth with khaki, if he don't have a suit on, khakis and a polo shirt. Guess what sport he played the most? Golf. He's not getting out in the hard court. Howard Eskin, so is it Spike Eskin? Can't be. He always talks about how he loves to play basketball. Challenged him a couple years ago. No. And it wasn't even me who challenged him. I tried to set up it for someone else to play him. And he was scared. I don't know why fans act this way. Because when you talk all types of, you bump your damn gums, you know what's going to happen? Somebody's going to challenge you. Because that's how it works here. If you have not played basketball in the city, you don't understand. We not talk. If you're sitting and you're just talking, all right, bring that on the court. Let's see if you can back up your talk. Every time. We're going to call you bluff. Every time. Like I said, these dudes is made out of glass. All they do, they just mouthpieces. I don't understand why they get the fanfare. I don't understand it. It's amazing how so many people will support guys who just talk and not real about it, as opposed to somebody who's actually trying to do something or actually active. That, to me, is mind-boggling. But you know what? That's the city for you. That's the public for you. Everyone got time to talk, but don't nobody have time for action. But everybody wants action. Everybody wants to be an action hero, right? Y'all watch too many movies, man. Let's move on. Man, this is a good day for me. I feel good. I do. I really do. Let's talk about football, shall we? As we saw, the Eagles. I have to give you credit, Eagles. I have to. It was great. For what I saw, you went out there and you played, you executed. Doug Peterson at times had some really bad play calling, but it wasn't enough to sink our team. Carson Wentz looked great. I really just want to give him the game ball this week, but I can't give him the game ball this week because I got to give it to the defense. The defense held the Cardinals to that many points. That's crazy. I love to see that. That is a great thing to see, and that's with key injuries. So can you imagine when our guys get healthy? I'm just saying that, look, the Eagles played really well, and I think when we play Carolina, they'll beat Carolina. They'll beat Carolina. But here's the thing, all right? Carolina can put up some points, but Carolina also, a lot of people like to talk about the defense, but Carolina also gives up some points. If you watch their last game, they give a lot of points. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think the Eagles can win this game. It's a winnable game. Just don't let Cam get to the running. You let Cam run, and it's going to be a completely different, aspect, really. And last thing I need to do is see him just keep doing this all day. Last thing I need, I don't want to see that all day. I really don't. I think we have a good chance to beat Carolina, though. I think they can. I think, given what's been going on with our offensive line, they actually played pretty well. As we know, Lane Johnson has a concussion, so he's on the protocol. To be honest, I felt they played better without him. But y'all know how I feel about Lane Johnson, so that doesn't, here or there, whether you're a fan of his or not. I think that's another thing that people tend to get caught up in their feels because they're such fans of specific players. No, look at the scheme, look at the way it's broken down. I think the worst play I saw for Carson Wentz that was on the right-hand side for Lane Johnson is when Carson Wentz decided to do that quarterback option. He's supposed to hand to the running back and was like, no, I'm keeping him, I'm going to run. And there was 3 guys right there waiting for him. That was probably the worst play I saw that entire game on the right-hand side. I think it was the worst time. But other than that, I think that the offense played as well as they should. A lot of people are saying that Carson Wentz has turned the corner. I won't say that yet. All right? This is his second year. You have to understand that. All right? So you have to give him time to still adjust. He's got, he can, it's kind of hard to assess his deep ball because there's times where it was wildly inaccurate, and there's times, of course, we saw the interception as well. But there was times where it was there. The pass that he threw to Torrey Smith, actually, Torrey Smith, if you go back and watch it again, he actually had to slow down, because the ball wasn't on the money. It was slightly off. But not a big deal. He still got it there, right? That's what we're worried. That's like second-year stuff. So, like I said, Carson Wentz can move the chains, especially from 3rd down and 4th down conversions. I like to see that. He can use his feet. He's actually diving for first downs. I like to see that. He's got heart. The kid can play. So, remember, when Carson Wentz was drafted, what did I say? This guy knows how to read plays. If you notice, he's reading plays. He's calling audibles. He's setting it up. That's what I wanted to see. He's doing exactly what I thought he would when I showed you that draft footage when they, when they were showing him in college. And people was like, nah, I don't believe in Carson Wentz. You don't got to. You don't have to. The proof is there. That's all that matters. Just get on board. If you can't get on board with it, well, then guess what? Then you're done. But it's amazing how all these people who say they didn't believe in Carson Wentz all of a sudden just going to act like that, oh, well, that's not that big of a deal. Yeah, Carson Wentz, let's go. So you're not even going to admit you was wrong, huh, fam? Nah. And that's a lot of fans, too. Crazy. Crazy. Like I said, second year, give the guy a chance. He's doing well as far as I'm concerned. He's going to have bad games. He is. He is. But for what we saw against Arizona, I was very happy with it. It will be a good test to see what he can do against Carolina. I was very happy with the way we played. No complaints whatsoever on my end, other than some bad play calling. Seriously, got to run the ball more, though. Have to run the ball more. I just don't understand it. I don't. There's no way you can have LeGarrette Blount out there, Smallwood out there, have all these guys out there who can actually run the ball, and you're still having Carson Wentz throw the ball a number of times in a row. I mean, like, seriously, there's times, 3 times throw the ball. What? Like, no, come on, stop, please. Stop this. Please stop this. All right? You don't need to throw the ball all the time. It's one thing if you can see it. I understand that, Peterson is a child of Andy Reid, so, when it comes to his scheme, so it's pass. I get it. But eventually that's going to catch up to you. It is. So, but yeah, I said defense played great. Yeah, they had some mismatch problems at times, but I'm not going to get on too much. I'm just not. All right? Anyways, I do want to roll over to college real quick because we need to have this talk. And I need to talk about Ohio State. All right? I need to know, because this was brought to my attention. I need to know somebody, how is this targeting?
They're going to discuss whether this was a completion and a fumble or just an incomplete pass. That looked like a fumble. Personal foul. Targeting. Defense.
I don't understand this. And the reason I bring this up is because in the NFL, that would not be considered targeting. All right? In Pop Warner football, that would not be considered targeting. High school football, that would not be considered targeting. And the announcers got it right. The only conversation that would be in this case would be whether it's an incomplete pass or a fumble. Personally, I felt he had possession and it should have been a fumble. What the hell is going on with college football? Seriously, in the NFL, that would have not been called at all. That wouldn't have been a personal foul by any means. So, that's the reason why I bring us back to the NFL. I do want to talk about some of the games that happen in the NFL. Okay? Giants, 0-5. Yeah. I don't understand you. I really don't. Granted, you've had receivers that got hurt during the game. I get it, all right? And you're playing against the 0-4 Chargers. So, one of y'all got to win, all right? Someone's coming out. Whoever's lost all season, someone's getting a win today. So, it's amazing how this still almost played out. And I feel like this. It's ever since the Giants, and that picture from last season where all the receivers had their shirts off and they was on the boat chilling like this, they haven't won a game. They haven't won a game. The Jets have won a game. The Jets better than the Giants right now. Look, I feel like this. All right? The Giants have a lot of problems. And as Philly fans, we always hate Eli because of the way he throws the ball. He's so scared he won't throw the ball. But you've had receivers, you have quality receivers. I mean, you got to think, on all offseason, we had to hear Giants fans say, well, you know what? I feel bad for your secondary. You know, because we're going to torch them, we're going to carve them up because we got Odell and we got Marshall and we got... And, what's up now? What's up now? And again, Odell, we know he's a talent, but this guy cannot stop acting a fool. He can't. Look, I get it. Now that they let these celebrations go on, I'm all for it. But you know, there's class in some of this stuff. You know, what he did here in Philadelphia, still classless. And he was fined for it. Even listen, and the thing is, if you watch the clip, was it the soundbite? He's like, "I'm in the Eagles fans' head, coach. I'm in their head, coach. I'm in their head." And it was like, well, you also pissed off your coach. You also pissed off, your GM, and you were fined by the NFL for all your taunting. So, you weren't in Eagles fans' head. You got to your own team's head. You know what I mean? Like any NFL. So it should be. It's a very self-serving thing to say that Odell is still doing this, but he was fine. It's like you didn't learn your lesson. You think you would have learned your lesson. Now, what he did, giving the ball CPR and all, that doesn't bother me at all. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you score a touchdown, you should be able to celebrate. You know what I mean? Team celebrations, whatever. But don't take it too far. I mean, let's think about it. What Odell did against, on the Eagles home field, it's almost comparable to what Randy Moss did. Remember when he acted like he was taking down his pants? It's almost comparable to that. And Randy Moss was hated for a very long time for that. A very long time. Odell just gets a fine and we all forget about it the next week. It goes to show you just how different the fan bases are from generation to generation these days. It just goes to show you. But the Giants are 0-5. The Cowboys, I don't know how you have that large of a lead and still blow it. But then again, you're going up against Aaron Rodgers. You're leaving that much time on the clock. Aaron Rodgers is going to make you pay. He's going to make you pay every time. And I find it funny, it's not too long ago, and I have to bring this up because I don't bring a lot of politics up, when it comes to sports that much. But how is it 2 weeks ago that Jerry Jones can kneel with players and then this week say anybody who kneels is disrespecting the flag and won't play football? Stop being a hypocrite. Pick one. Either you're going to stand for the flag or whatever, or you're going to kneel with your team. It's one or the other. All right? That's a hypocrite. It's amazing how all these people talk about the athletes being hypocrites. Jerry Jones is a hypocrite. All right? But the Dallas Cowboys lost again. The Eagles, of course, we first in the division. We can't really brag. I don't want to brag that much. No. Because as you know, any given Sunday, anybody can lose, and you can get on a losing streak and have a downfall, all right? You can. But right now, Eagles are in first place. I don't want to hear anything from Cowboys fans. I don't want anything from Giants fans. And Redskins fans, you're Redskins, all right? While you have some wins under your belt, and understand you're still fighting to get to where you need to go, you can't say anything to us yet because we already beat you this season, all right? We've already beat the Giants. We've already beat... Well, I tell you before, if the Eagles are going to not make the playoffs or lose, not go to a Super Bowl, whatever, what you have to do is at least beat your division rivals. We've beaten the Cowboys. We've beaten, the Redskins. The Redskins. We've beaten the Giants. We haven't beaten the Cowboys yet. We'll face the Cowboys eventually. I'm looking forward to beating them too. All right? So, that's what it comes down to, as far as I'm concerned. But there's games, you look at our schedule, there are a lot of games we should be winning. So, I'm okay with this so far, with the way the Eagles are playing. Let's talk about Cleveland Browns. Y'all just can't seem to win a game, can y'all? I mean, what's going on there? I mean, do I really... I'm sure y'all are saying it's the Cleveland Browns. Still. They need a quarterback. They still have a quarterback. So, yeah. All right, whatever. Steelers. I don't know what's going on with the Steelers, but I think when I saw what happened this weekend, or should I say the previous weekend just passed, I have to agree with the Steelers fans. It's time for Ben to give it up. It is. Even Ben says so. Maybe I don't have it anymore. You threw 5 interceptions. 5 interceptions. That's almost like Neil O'Donnell worthy. Like, what's wrong with you? No way. It's time to change this page. It's time to turn the page. It is. I mean, Ben was great for his time, but as you know, a lot of people still see Ben for what he did, the sexual assault and all. So regardless how good of a player Ben is, for him to come out and say anything political, as we've seen as of late, he shouldn't say anything. He's the definition of privilege, as far as I'm concerned, you know what I mean? So he shouldn't say anything as far as, it's crazy. But Steelers fans are upset. They have a right to be upset because, let's be honest here, the Pittsburgh Steelers have a pedigree for winning. You know what I mean? Their fans know how it feels to win Super Bowls. You know what I mean? They're Steel City. They know they're diehard fans, and for the team to be playing the way they are, it's for them. It's unacceptable. It is. You know, it's not like you're the Raiders and you were losing for time and time and time and time, and then you're just now starting to get good. Which Raiders fans, regardless of your wins or losses, your team is actually playing, and you can't even be mad about that. They're playing. You know, so yeah, there's that. The Patriots. I don't think there's much to say about the Patriots. I mean, they're the Patriots. You know what I mean? What do you expect from the Patriots? Tom Brady is still going to be Tom Brady, and he's going to make weapons out of receivers that he's given, regardless if those receivers are good or not. You know what I mean? That's just what he does. I don't know, man. I don't know. Tampa Bay, and it's funny because I saw on Twitter, even Eagles fans are saying, does Deshaun Jackson even play anymore? Like, ever since Deshaun Jackson has left the NFC, and I say the East, all right? He's become, no one even knows who he is anymore. I mean, he was with the Eagles. His heyday was with the Eagles. But, like I said, again, people have figured him out now. I mean, I'm sure he's still going to get his numbers every once in a while, but no one's really seeing it. You know, at least here, they're not televising that much here. So when people say Deshaun Jackson, I'm like, who? Or someone's going to reminisce back in the day. It's like when a player was so good, but then they've been gone for so long, you forget about him. Same thing with McCoy. He's with the Bills. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just one of those things. It just is. But here, Philadelphia fans, still, now you hear echoes of McCoy or Jackson, everyone's like, who? Who? Well, it's so long ago. You know? And then we still have Nick Foles on the bench just smiling, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is, like I said, NFL this week was actually pretty good. For those trying to boycott the NFL, look, I feel like this, all right? I really don't care what you believe in, whether it's you kneeling or you're standing. We all have our differences on what we feel is right. But football's football. You know what I mean? Like, this city is not going to stop simply because players are kneeling. Because people want the football, okay? Other places, not so much. I feel as though a lot of people who are on Twitter who say this type of stuff, who say, I'm not going to watch football, I'm going to boycott the NFL, I don't think they watch that much football anyway. So it's not that big of a deal as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people like to look at the ratings and say, well, you know, football, you know, NFL ratings are bad. It's not because of what's going on, because they've been doing this since last season. And y'all didn't give a shit then, did you? Okay. All of a sudden y'all care because the president came out and said something. Look, I'll put it like this, all right? If you're a fan of sports, I said this before, even when their teams don't make the playoffs, and then they say, well, I'm not going to watch the playoffs or the Super Bowl because my team ain't in it. If you love sports, you're going to watch it regardless. You're going to go out and play regardless. So for all these people, again, all these people sitting around talking about they're going to boycott and everything, don't need you. Don't need you. Don't. Okay? The NFL, like I said, look, I'll put it like this. If the NFL decided today that, you know, it's a mandated rule that everyone has to stand. Okay? Let's just say that. Can we now talk about the atrocities that's going on within, you know, why they're kneeling? Can we talk about that then? No? Because you haven't heard us in years, but it doesn't matter. I know a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on it. It is what it is. But ratings aren't slipping simply because people are kneeling for the flag. Ratings are slipping because of the way these teams are playing. It's that simple. All right? That's what it is. I guarantee you, and it's funny because everyone keeps saying, America's team, Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Technically, if you haven't realized, usually America's team goes to the team who wins consistently. Right now, the America's team would be the Patriots. That would be America's team. Or the Steelers would be America's team. The Cowboys haven't won in a very long time. All right? They barely made the playoffs, they made the playoffs twice in quite a couple of years. That's it. You can't say America's team when your team is playing this bad. And Dak, he is a talent. He is. Not going to sit here and say he's not. He can play. All right? But y'all are putting way too much pressure on that man. And I say this due to the fact that for those who have not seen what the media has been saying as of late, Dak Prescott is an elite quarterback. They have him up there. They said some of them said he's the best quarterback in the NFL right now. So we're just going to act like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers don't exist. That's what we're going to act like now. This is what I mean. Some people, like I said, in the media, their opinions on sports, whether they're right or whether they're wrong, when it comes to facts, this is what they do. You got to take them with a grain of salt at times and say, okay, yeah, you've just gone way too far off the deep end. You've been drinking the Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? But unless you challenge said media, that's going to keep happening. All right? Talking back to them the entire time isn't going to do anything. Again, Colin Cowherd, my door is open. My office is open to you anytime, any place. This is what it's about, people. All right? Like I said, you know when people go out of bounds. You know when they got to be challenged, when they cross the line. You know what you got to do. I tell gamers this all the time. Their media want to act a fool, challenge them. Same thing, sports fans. Media want to start acting a fool, challenge them. That's what you do. Only way things going to get solved. All right? Because they're not going to shut up because they're getting paid too much money to talk. So no matter how wrong they are, Skip Bayless is a great example of that. No matter how wrong he's being, he's getting paid a lot of money to be wrong. That's the standard that a lot of people have set because the public has let it go every time. Oh, look at the way they were acting on first day. Him and Stephen A. Smith. No, both of them fucking wrong. What happened? They got paid. And they're still on TV. They've become almost a franchise of themselves. Remember, Stephen A. Smith at one point was kicked off ESPN. Remember that? And he only came back because he started yelling at Skip Bayless, and Skip Bayless would yell back and forth with him. So it was just heated debate. People were like, oh, they're yelling. This is going to bring ratings. That's what happened. Now you got Skip over there and with Shannon Sharp, and Shannon Sharp does nothing but kill on that show. Nothing but kill. But I can't watch that show. I only see the clips of which y'all show me on Twitter because I refuse to see that show because I don't support Skip Bayless. Because we know how wrong he can be, and he doesn't deserve to get paid that much money. You know that, and I know that. If that's the case, you might as well throw me a dump truck full of money, or any other YouTuber here who's going to talk about sports, and throw them a dump truck full of money. No different. No different. It's about promotion. So Fox, ESPN, you can grab anybody from here, all right, or even a local station, say, hey, we're going to bring you a studio, we'll throw you some money, put on a suit, and just talk. Doesn't matter what you say, just talk. Just to get ratings. And it'll work. Anyways, Griffin Force Flop of the Week. Let's talk about it. Goes to, actually, not the NFL, because it's still football, not football overseas like we've been showing you. No. We just talked about college football, and college football, again, comes back with the Griffin Force Flop of the Week. Please tell me what this is, anyone. You got a helmet on and you just put him in concussion protocol. I'm sure, all right, that's absolutely ridiculous. You know what? Like I said, when I see things like this, it's one of those things where coaches, again, are not disciplining players. They're just not. They're letting it ride. They're letting this go. I don't understand how a coach, I don't know if you've ever played football before, some of you, but if you ever acted up in any way, fashion that can embarrass a team that a coach has led because it's his responsibility, it reflects on him, he would have grabbed you by the face mask, pulled you to you and say, you're going to stop this, you don't go sit on the bench. Go think about what you did. These days we're just seeing coaches just do this left and right. It's crazy. You're just letting it ride. And usually you see it ride in basketball more than you see football. But now it's become a thing in football, which is trying to tell you that, once again, you want to talk about ratings. We see the NFL, we've seen players flopping in the NFL, now they're flopping in college football. So if you want to talk about ratings, it's because of the overall quality of the product, not because someone's taking a knee. Okay? Right then and there, see that right there? Right there? And I like Michigan football, but you see that? I can't support that. At all. At all. But since I talked about basketball, I guess we can move on to basketball. Let's talk about, the Sixers. So, for those who are not watching these games, okay, preseason games, because like I said, I always watch basketball. I play basketball at basketball 24/7 in here. When I'm not boxing or whatever. You have to understand, and some of you asked me just not too long ago, last week I believe, you asked me what my favorite sport was, and I told you, hands down, basketball. Hands down. So, let's get into this. Embarrassing. I don't, I think this season I shouldn't contend with Sixers fans. Because a lot of you are just really, really stupid. A lot of you are. A lot of you. I don't understand where you think this is okay. For those who have not been watching these preseason games, let's get into this. These preseason games have been so bad. And I say this because, if you didn't see the game last night, you didn't see the Celtics, they've washed the Sixers twice now. The turnovers, upon turnovers, upon turnovers, it builds up. Now, for those who don't know, last season, the Sixers, they led the league in turnovers with 16.1. That's right. Mind you, we saw games, and you saw on Twitter, I was posting pictures and stuff. There would be games, even in video, I would show you. There was games where they would have 22 turnovers in the first half. You know what I mean? Turnovers is a problem, and it's not just because the quality of player. It also shows the reflection of coaching. Again, everything reflects back to your coach and your staff. That's what happens. So, with that said, the Sixers have been playing so bad. And I understand at this point, it is a circus. It's a circus. Because now you're not coming to see the team win. You're coming to see specific players and see how they play. So you're coming to see Simmons. You're coming to see Merkel. You're coming to see Embiid. You're coming to see certain players, and it's just like, well, forget the rest of the team. That's what you're doing at this point. And now, I put it like this. Watching these games, this team doesn't have any chemistry. Any. I don't know what's going on here. Bayless, which is a good acquisition. Bayless, he's actually scoring points. I give him that, okay? You have Simmons every once in a while score some points. And I know a lot of people are like, okay, here's the thing that people haven't been paying attention to in the preseason. Jahlil Okafor's been playing. He's been doing his job. And I'm not just saying the point. He's cleaning up boards. He's getting blocks, lots of rebounds. He's doing his job. But no one wants to give him that credit. You know, just last season we wanted him gone because he complained. You know, he was usually injured. Then he complained about how he was being tired on the court when he really wasn't playing. How can you be tired if you're not playing? He's playing. He's doing his job. So you can't even get on him about this. So apparently it's a new mentality shift for Okafor, you know, this year. We'll see if it lasts throughout the entire season, okay? But Simmons, I've seen two problems, all right? Our rookie point guard that everyone loves so much, and Simmons, both of them can't shoot a free throw to save their life. And I mean badly. Our point guard, yeah, all right, he'll make one for two. Simmons shoots the damn thing so hard, it's almost like it doesn't have a chance going in and always misses both of them. So if you're seeing these games and they're coming down to the wire at one point, you're going to have to start looking back at free throws and seeing who's making them and who's missing them, all right? These guys getting paid too much money. You've been waiting. What's the advertisement? The wait is over. It's here. The process has begun. It's here. Because now, they have Embiid on one side and Simmons on the other side. All the marketing that they're giving you right now so that you can get hyped, so that you can buy tickets. Because, for those who don't know, because of all the marketing, ticket sales the prices for tickets have gone up. Because they want you to come now. Now that they've sold you on this process, mind you, half a decade in, they've sold you on this process. Now, it's time for you to pay up. I guarantee you, if they start losing again, they start losing bad, ain't no one going to go. Guarantee you. All right? Now, here's the thing. These games, still, like I said, sometimes you just can't blame the players. You got to blame the coach. All right? The game against the Boston Celtics, no defense. I literally saw one Celtic run down the court against 5 players on defense on the Sixers. No one put a hand up. No one. He came in the paint, teardrop. Not one of them. All of them bunched in, and one was trailing. Bunched in. No one put a hand up. He scored. Yeah, he scored. So, as far as I'm concerned, first off, you should know you never go 1-on-5 or 1-on-4. But, hey, guy was feeling himself. All right? So, that would have been a problem with the Celtics if he'd have missed. I'd have blamed that guy. But none of the Sixers stepped up to him, didn't put a hand up, nothing. They just sat there like this. Froze. I understand it. Defense is a horrible problem. Turnovers, again, horrible. There's just an article written not too long ago. You know what? I'll find the article and I'll put it in the link in the description field where writers like turnovers are becoming a problem. Becoming a problem? It's been like this for seasons. We've seen this how long? I mean, come on. For seasons. No matter if it was Brett Brown coaching, no matter if it was Doug Collins coaching, no, it doesn't matter who was coaching. Turnovers are a problem. They are. It's lack of discipline. If you haven't been watching these games, it's crazy. And here's the thing. Some of you, we've talked on Twitter, and you're like, yeah, look at this highlight where Simmons goes behind the back. Y'all act like y'all never seen a behind the back pass before. All right? But you can't sit here and praise players when y'all lose, when y'all down by 20 points. That we can't have. See, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all living in this highlight era instead of looking at the body of work. It's a problem. So yeah, I don't agree with that, and no, I'm not going to praise that. You're going to see that move 100 more times during the season. And when he did it, I didn't think it was the right decision for him to do anyway. Because of the way the defense was set up. I didn't think it was right. He got away with it, but he shouldn't have. Just saying, if it was tighter defense, it'd be turnover. But as far as I'm concerned, I am not worried about these highlights that you keep seeing. Listen, team can't be down by 20 points. And look at this dunk. Look at this dunk. Y'all living in this era, and I blame ESPN for this because ESPN made this highlight error. All right? Where y'all not understanding exactly what's going on in the court or in the game, or you're not watching the game. And NBA, you just saw the NBA. You just said, well, you know what? No one's really watching the games. So we got to, give you updates now when the 2-minute mark starts, at the end of the game, it's close. Then we're going to let you know when to watch the game. Because that's when the exciting part happens. Because for years we heard, well, no one watched the regular season. Everybody waits for playoffs. Now we're finding out, ain't no one waiting for playoffs. We saw the way the playoffs went this season. People was pissed off at the playoffs. So, yeah. It goes to show you that, this is a big problem with the NBA right now. Again, lack of quality. And now we're seeing that they're changing the All-Star game. So they're trying to do whatever they can to grab the demographic and keep this going. And it's failing miserably. It is, if you haven't noticed. That's why I said, this city for us, like I said, it's a play first, watch second. Okay? So no one's going to say, the Sixers are on. What? Okay, let's stop playing basketball and run home to watch the Sixers. It don't work that way. I'll catch the replay later, bro. Or I'll just do like y'all and just catch a highlight if that's the case. Like last night, I watched the replay because I was at work. I watched the replay. That's what I did. So, 1:30 in the morning, I was watching Sixers Celtics. You know what I mean? Like that goes to show you the difference. You know what I mean? And just looking at it, it was just like, I can't believe this is happening. I cannot believe this is like, you got Sarek out there shooting threes when he shouldn't be shooting threes, and he's missing them completely. When I saw he had made like one or two, I was like, okay, not too bad. But the way the setup was, that's when someone was in his face, and he made those. Wide open, no one around, uncontested, doesn't knock it down. I'm like, that's a problem. That's a problem. Uncontested, I expect you to make it. You take your time, I expect you to make it. Someone in your face, someone's putting defense in your face, okay, that's difficult, I don't know. I'm not sold right now what I'm seeing on the Sixers. And as we know, granted, not everyone's playing. But you can't tell me now that we know that Joel Embiid is, and I put it like this, we know he's not going to play 82 games. He has said it himself. He is not going to play 82 games. So I don't want anyone to think I'm just lying. I showed y'all what he said last time I did a sports video. Now I'm going to recap on this. There's a reason I'm recapping on this. Because now that we know it's a fact that he's not going to play a full season of basketball again, now the media has to find a way to try and get you to say, okay, so how can we work this? How can the Sixers make the playoffs? How many games does Joel Embiid need to play in order for us to make the playoffs? So that's the rub now, media. That's the angle y'all taking to keep Sixers fan hype, huh? I mean, let's be real here. So your star player that, you're putting on the posters and everyone loves all of a sudden, all right, now he's not going to play an entire season. So now we have to settle for the lowest common denominator. How many games do we have to play for us to get into the playoffs? The 8th spot, the 8th seed. Because let's be real here, the Sixers are not going to get anywhere closer other than that. Since the Knicks have lost Carmelo Anthony, this opens the door for the Sixers or the Nets being the 8th seed. And if you can't get in this in an ailing East, there's a problem. There's a huge problem. Regardless how many draft picks you have, regardless how many stars you have that you've promoted, all right? If you can't make the playoffs, it's a problem. It is. But this is what we do now. He's not going to play 82 games. Okay, so how many games does he need to play so we can justify him playing like this? How many? So we can make the playoffs. What y'all going to do in the playoffs? What noise are y'all going to make in the playoffs? Are y'all really dead set on just being the 8th seed? It's a problem all around. And you have to understand, being in the 8th seed, given what other teams have, how they've reloaded, all right, goes nowhere. But again, y'all would just call that progress, right? That would be a process. That would be a bragging point for you, would it not? It's a problem if you can't make the playoffs, and it's a problem if you do make the playoffs. Do you see where you're screwed on it? Do you see? Seriously, do you see? So, as you know, again, for another year, we have to pretty much look towards possibly Golden State and Cleveland playing again. And the overall NBA, you don't see a problem with this? You don't see a problem with this whatsoever. Okay? No, whatsoever. So we're just playing, we're just spectating. We're just going to root on our team to see if they can make the playoffs. That's what that's all we're allowed right now. No one sees that. At all. From an overall basketball standpoint. The Sixers are screwed regardless. So they just want you to have undying loyalty to pretty much still a mediocre product. Half a decade in. But there's more because of this process. Okay? Let me get this straight. This guy, Embiid, has played 31 games, 3 seasons. 31 games, 3 seasons. We've seen flashes of talent. We have. I've said this time and time again. Guy has talent when he's healthy. Can't get healthy. There's a problem. So, what do the Sixers do? They do the very same thing that everyone has been against for years since the Billy King era, which is lock down an extension for 5 years, $148 million for Embiid. This screams of desperation. You cannot be any worse at business than this. Now look, I put it like this. I know when they saw this, the first defense they came, the Embiid's defense and the Sixers defense, well, you know they got a fail-safe, so if he gets injured again, he don't have to worry about that. The salary cap, blah, blah. No, we're not going there, all right? $148 million, all right, for 5 years for a guy who's played 31 games in 3 years. Just do the math right there. No way. You cannot tell me that is justifiable. You know what this is? This is a hard bank. A hard bank on hope that Embiid will get better health-wise. All right, will get better health-wise, and that the city will tolerate this. That's what this is. That's what the organization is banking on. So now, like I said before, I showed you last season how the media is hard at play to keep the fans pretty much stupid and try to make them, the focal point of this when it comes to believing in the process. We've seen this time and time again last season. You just saw it not too long ago, where now we have to accept that, okay, he's not going to play 82 games, but how many games do you need to play to get into the playoffs? That's what we're aiming for now, okay? So, not full season, all right? $148 million, not full season of basketball yet. Just saying. I don't understand at all how people can be hype about this. And you know what? Since it's happened, of course, the media is going to keep the ball rolling. Yeah, this is a great idea. This is good. This is great. And the fans, of course, stupid enough to be like, yeah, this is great. 5 more years of Embiid, of talking on Twitter and not doing his job. It's great. But I'm happy that after I watched the game, I had a chance to, put on, NBA channel. And I wanted to hear what other people had to say in the media. And I think Brent Barry, even though I disagree with some of the things he said, I think that he's absolutely right on this when it comes to an industry standpoint, because now we're just making an exception.
Adding that up, it is a mind-boggling number considering how little time is spent on the court as an NBA player. Reportedly, there's some salary cap protection for the Sixers in case Embiid has another serious injury, but a lot of money. How did the cost-benefit analysis look?
I think it'll be really interesting, Matt, as we get details that trickle out about what the contract and how it's exactly structured, what the language is. But to think about a guy that's played 786 minutes and last year not playing back-to-backs, most of the evidence overwhelmingly stacks up to not give a player like this an extension, especially with big guys in the NBA who have had a history of injury problems and how long the shelf life of players like that are, foot issues being the primary one. The fact of the matter is, Joel Embiid, the 76ers, represents so much hope, and there's so much hope within the numbers of these contracts for this guy. Look, he could be amazing. We saw glimpses of it last year. We saw flashes of incredible brilliance. You hear whispers, almost like Braveheart, William Wallace, about what Embiid does when he's at practice and in workouts and working with Kevin Garnett this summer to get his game right. He's worked very hard, Matt, to get himself back. He worked tirelessly to get himself into physical condition. He loves to play, and now he is Philadelphia's future. There's no doubt about it.
We hope for the 76ers that they have a feel for his health and where he is physically, and maybe they know something the rest of us don't. Because otherwise it just feels like an enormous leap of faith health-wise to invest that kind of money in someone who's played so little. And Embiid is yet to play in the preseason block of here in 2017, 2018.
And there you have it. Facts. right then and there. No player, no big man like this, given the minutes that he's played, given the time he is injured, would get that type of contract. This is a hard play on hope. That's what it is. Anyone else, they wouldn't have got an extension. They wouldn't have. But they see that maybe he can do something. Now, here's the thing I disagree with Brent Barry. He talks about how Embiid is, working tirelessly. He's worked with Kevin Garnett to get back, working on his health to get, back on the court and everything because he likes to play. You have to understand that that's what he's supposed to do. That's his job, okay? That's how you survive in the NBA, by working hard. Of course, these days we see more theatrics than actually people playing hard, but the fact is, that's what you're supposed to do if you want to stay on a roster. You're supposed to work hard. I'm not giving credit to somebody for something they're supposed to do. I don't understand that part of the segment at all. I understand he wanted to get a young fella some credit. I give it to him. I get that. I get what he's saying. I give Brent Barry that credit, for trying to give some credit. But like he said, the facts, the numbers, everything about it is overwhelmingly in the wrong direction. There is no way you would give this big of a contract to somebody, given the issues, a big man with foot problems, these issues. No way. No way. It is unheard of. This is a hard gamble, man. And you know what? I don't think it's going to work out, to be honest. I hate to be that guy. I mean, y'all going to hate me anyway, regardless of what I say. But I hate to be that guy, but I don't think it's going to work out. And then you heard what they just say. He's not going to play in the preseason either. He's not going to play the whole season either. So we're paying $148 million to a guy, and you know what hurt Brent Barry? He said he could be great. So we're banking on could be. Could be. And I'm not even saying that from a talent aspect. I'm saying that from a health aspect. There's a difference. Because every player that is drafted is always an investment to companies, all right, to the owners. So they could be great. Talent-wise, not health-wise. That's not what they have to worry about. 9 times out of 10. I mean, we saw what happened with Greg Oden. So you have to understand the concern that's going on here when it comes to basketball. So yes, when I talk about these things, it's not that I hate Embiid. Like I said before, I think he's a talent. He has talent. He can play. His attitude is wrong when it comes to how he acts on Twitter and everything. He acts like a damn child, but whatever. But the fact is, for a guy who's only played so many little games, 31 games, you cannot justify this. And I'm sure since I say this, somebody's going to come along and be like, I'm going to try and justify it. I don't want to hear it. You cannot justify that. 31 games, 3 seasons. He's not going to play a full season this year. That's 4 years now. You give him a 5-year contract extension. At this point, he may be just trade bait. He was trade bait before. It's not a good move. It's not. That amount of money, no, that's crazy. Like I said, you were banking on. Like I said, there's no doubt about it. He's the future of Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is banking on a lot of hope. That is a lot. That is a lot. I thought the hope was Simmons. Wait a minute, I thought the hope was the new point guard we just got. Like I told you, y'all keep changing the goalposts, man. Y'all keep moving them. They did it with Nerlens. They did it with Okafor. They did it with Embiid. Then y'all was going to say Simmons. Now y'all saying Merkel. Like, whatever, man. Getting all these guys on the floor, it sounds great. It does. It sounds great. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be great. Especially the way they play defense. Like I said, everyone else is just role-playing. So right now, you're watching the Sixers of pretty much, I can't even say last season. I'll say 2 seasons ago. That's what you're watching right now. Until Embiid can be 100% healthy and play all season, I don't want to hear it. A half a decade into the process, this is what we get. And this is what you're willing to hang your fan hat on. This is what you're willing to do. At this point, maybe Colin Cowherd is right. Maybe Philly fans are stupid. I don't know, man. Like, come on. Come on. I mean, Eagles fans aren't as bad as Sixers fans. Sixers fans take the cake when it comes to stupidity, but you gotta be kidding. This is, no. $148 million. And it's amazing how so many people, let's say, have already defended this. Mind you, we got places around the city that need rebuilding, that need renovating, so that your future stars of tomorrow who play basketball can be something. You want to talk about gambling on future, but no one wants to gamble the right way. Yeah, okay. But like I said, I'll be the bad guy again today. It's cool. I will talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. Until then, bye. Say, if you haven't been paying attention to basketball, because it seems like a lot of people haven't been paying attention to basketball, watch basketball. Okay, if you don't want to go and play it. I would say go play basketball, but some of you don't play basketball at all. So, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. Until then, I'm out.